So time to install the MQB air duct block off plate. So when we removed the intake, there was a hole in the intake over here. If you can see this hole opening, essentially the air comes in from here into this opening over here. Now, and then the air travels all the way across this piece, goes into the intake air box. Now, I have opened up this side of the intake, but this side still remains open in the back. So the MQB block off plate basically covers this part and has two screws, one over here, which locks that cover in place. Now you can do this on the car, but I'd rather do this off the car because the screw has to go in from the bottoms. So once I get this off the car, I'll show you guys how this plate looks. So installing the duct block off plate, I have already opened up this side, but this side is the back open. So this is how the piece sits in the car. This is the block off plate, which just kind of mounts behind this and seals it off like this. And then underneath this plate you see two markings, one marking over here and the marking over here. These are for the screws. There are these two self-tapering screws that are there, which essentially go into here and this here and lock this plate in piece. So that should close off the intake from any source of engine heat coming in through the intake side, and hopefully it will improve my efficiency even more. So a bit more detail. So this is the piece that goes on the back of this closest top. It has these holes on top. These are the self-tapering screws. They are supposed to taper themselves into the holes over here, and then go through these holes, right? Flatten it out. They go in through here like this, and they hold this in place. So normally they're supposed to taper automatically, but I want to use a small drill and do a hole over here, and then we will taper them through. So for drilling these, you just need a screwdriver with a drill, and these are actually pretty soft. So with just a little bit of pressure, the drill goes through, and we have the place to taper these screws in. So now we can put this plate on, tighten the screws, and we'll be ready to install this back in the car. So now the plate is installed. The entire back end is blocked off. There's no airflow going into the engine, nor will the intake be able to suck in hot air from the engine. The way this plate is put on is you have the one screw over here and the other screw somewhere hidden over there. And then you have these one, two, and the third tab over here, which holds this plate onto place. It's pretty secure, it's not going anywhere. So now we can reinstall this on the car and hopefully prevent some heat soak and hot air going into the engine bay. Hot air going into my intake, and improve the efficiency. For tools, you just need a star head screwdriver like this and a small drill bit, so you can drill it in, clean the holes up, and you're good to go. So now the block off plate has been installed on the car. So no hot engine bay air going into my intake tract. Fully open. So this more or less completes what is called the Pikey R600 mod. And this intake should be a lot more efficient now than when it comes from the factory.